Hello everyone, this is Dr. Paul DeYoung. I'm sorry I can't be with you today. I am with you in spirit. I was called out of town unexpectedly and will be back with you on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. In the meantime, I'm going to demonstrate Module 5, the project, working with multiple worksheets and workbooks. The topics we will be covering are formatting a consolidated worksheet, using the round function, copying a worksheet, drilling to add data to multiple worksheets at the same time. So the reason for this whole module is to show you that you can link worksheets together and you don't have to pull in the worksheets all into you don't have to pull all the information into one worksheet. You can have them into a consolidated worksheet. Selecting and deselecting sheet combinations, entering formulas that use 3D cell references. That's a fancy way of just referring to um, cells in other worksheets. Formatting a 3D pie chart with an exploded slice. So watch out for exploding pies. Consolidating data by linking separate workbooks and using the paste gallery. You may recall that I showed you how to use the paste gallery before when we were working with our course project workbooks, and I showed you how you can copy and transpose data. So we're going to use a different type of paste. I think today it's going to be about pasting just the functions and not the formatting. But I always liked the idea of a paste gallery, and I thought, what would a paste gallery actually look like? Here you go. My artistic rendering of a paste gallery. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, you can see in the screen I have the workbook open on the left side, and on the right side I have the instructions. Um, I'm going to go a little quick here because most of this is pretty straightforward, and this is about the third time I've gone through this. Last time there was no sound recorded, so hopefully it works this time. Anyway, you can always pause and rewind and go back and watch what I've done. It's pretty straightforward, and you should be fine with this. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is I just want to show you that we have several worksheets in this workbook. I've saved it to _2, as you should as well. And we have documentation, should have your name up there. We have our 11th gear bike rental worksheets. Looks like we have multiple locations around Southern California, Santa Monica, Venice Beach, and Marina del Rey. So let's just take a look at Santa Monica. You can see here that we have information. Looks like she rents out cruisers, struts. I don't know what that is. Must be street. Typo. Tricycle, tandem, youth, and kids trailers. This looks like the numbers, and this looks like the dollar amounts for Santa Monica, Venice Beach. Notice up here we have different fonts. That means that these are probably have been modified by the different people that run the different locations, and so we're going to fix that later. Marina del Rey, yeah, we got this weird green color up here. All locations, this is green right now, helmets per location. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Santa Monica worksheet, and I'm going to apply the office theme to the workbook, and I'm going to go over to, where is that? Page layout, yeah, there it is. Click on the down arrow and click on office, and it's changed the color to this blue color. By the way, you may notice that my ribbon looks different than your ribbon. That's probably because I'm using a Mac. If you're not, it may look a little different. I normally use the PC in the classroom, but at home I use an iMac, my preferred computer of choice. Anyway, so we've done that. Let's see. We're going to group the Santa Monica, Venice Beach, and Marina del worksheets with all three worksheets selected. Let's group them first. So to do that, I'm going to hold down my Shift key. I've already selected the Santa Monica worksheet, and I'm going to click on Venice and Marina del Rey. And now they've been grouped. You see how they're all white and the others are grayed out? So that means that they are grouped. And we're going to change the font to Arial in A1 to N1, that's up here, and make it 18 points in white background. So I'm going to click on Arial. We just want plain old Arial, and we want to make the font white under the theme colors. Is that the right one? Yep, white background one. And it's made that white. So that means that Venice and Marina Del Rey have all become white. But why not 18? Oh, I forgot to change the font. That's why. Let's fix that. There we go. Venice and Marina Del Rey. Okay, so that's done, and I'm going to let you do number 3, since it's essentially the same thing that we've done. And in number 4, Amelia notices 2 typos in the worksheets for each location, with the Santa Monica blah blah blah, the still grouped. In cell A8, edit the cell text to read street instead of stret. And then A9, tricycle instead of tricycles. So we're going to fix street here. And tricycle, tricycle. Okay, so there we go. So that's been fixed, so that means that they should have been fixed in all of them. Ungroup the worksheets. To ungroup the worksheets, I'm going to right click on one of them and click ungroup. Number 5, now that a consistent format is applied to each location's worksheet, Amelia wants to create a template worksheet. She'll use a copy of this template for any new location that she opens rather than formatting a whole new worksheet. Well, that makes sense. So select the Marina Del Rey worksheet and create a copy of it between the Marina Del Rey and the all locations. Update the worksheet as described below. All right, so let's create a copy of this thing. To do that, I'm going to right click on that tab, click on Move or Copy. And what happened? Ah, there it is. Create a copy. And it says here, we're going to copy. All right, let's try that again. So I am going to right click on Marina Del Rey worksheet and click on Move or Copy. Same thing keeps happening to me. There we go. All right, and we're going to create a copy, and we want it to be before all locations, so I'm going to click OK. I'm experiencing technical difficulties here. All right, so we are going to rename Marina Del Rey to number 2. That means that it's just a copy of this one right here. And we want to call this new location. So I'm going to type new location, right click on it. Don't know why my right click is not working. I'm just going to start. Okay, for some reason my right click is not working, so I'm going to double click on this right here, and that should allow me to write over this and type new locations. New location. Okay. Clear the contents, but not the formatting of A2 to N2. So we're going to get rid of Marina Del Rey and use this little clear button in contents, and then do the same thing for B7 to M12 and B16 to M21. B16, B7 to M12. And looks like the same for these as well. Okay, now they want us to go to the all locations worksheet. Oh, by the way, if you ever want to move a worksheet, if you right click on it, actually if you click on it and then hold it down, this little file thing document tab comes up, and notice how it shows that this little arrow wants to insert it in different locations, so we can move it in different places. If I wanted to move it to the end, or before the end, it would move it there. But they want us to be new look before all locations. Anyway, let's click on all locations, and we have this beautiful yellow color, I guess indicating that it's different from all the others. And they want us to, in cell B7, enter a formula using the sum function, 3D references and group worksheets to total the values in cell B7 on the Santa Monica to Marina Del Rey worksheets. Wow. Okay, so how do we do that? We're going to type equals, and actually we're just going to use the auto sum. Click on the auto sum. There we go. And we're going to click on the Santa Monica worksheet, B7. Then I'm going to hold down my shift key till I get to Marina Del Rey and click on, I'm not going to hold down my shift key, I'm just going to click on Marina Del Rey. Why is my, okay, all that bad stuff hopefully was edited out. If not, I apologize. All right, so they're asking us to go to the all locations in cell B3, B7, enter a sum function using 3D references and group worksheets to total values in cell B7 on the Santa Monica to Marina Del Rey worksheets. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to B7 and I'm going to type auto sum. And in this case, we're not summing anything on this worksheet. We're pulling information from the Santa Monica, Venice Beach, and Marina Del Rey worksheet. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Santa Monica. And notice how it's put in Santa Monica in single quotation marks with an exclamation point after it, meaning that it's the worksheet, Santa Monica. So I'm now going to hold down the shift key and click on the Marina Del Rey worksheet, and now it's the Santa Monica to the Marina Del Rey worksheet. And we need it to be summing a cell across those worksheets, cell B7 in each one of those worksheets. So I'm going to click on B7 and hit enter, and it now takes us back to the all locations worksheet, and this is the sum of these three, so 847. So we had 133 plus 446 plus 268. Hopefully that equals 847. All right, so now we are working on cell B7, and they want us to copy these to M12 without the formatting, and this is where we get to use our paste gallery, which is over here. If you can see, there's different ways to paste things. First I have to copy it, and there are many different ways to paste things. Here's our paste gallery. There's pasting, there's formulas, there's formula and number formatting. The one that we're going to want here is the formulas. So I am first going to highlight the area that I want it to be pasted into. Click on the down arrow and click on formulas. And we should have the correct numbers here. So I'm going to hit escape, get escape out of this. And yeah, so here we have the sum of Santa Monica to Marina Del Rey for cells C7 and D9. So that's all correct. Number 8, Amelia created a 3D pie chart showing how rental of each bicycle type contributed to her total revenue in 2019, and she wants to format it to make the important information stand out better. So, yeah, you can see this is kind of noisy in here, and it's kind of hard to see if anything is more important than another. So, we're first going to resize and reposition the 3D pie chart so that the upper left corner is located in cell C24 and the lower right corner is located in cell L44. So I need to, let me scroll down a little bit here. So we need to put this in, so I'm just dragging it down, I'm moving it around, and we want it to be in C24. So here's C and here's 24. So that's in that cell, and they want us to be down to L44. So I'm going to drag it on down to, there's L and 44. Okay, that's been moved. Now we want to explode our pie. Beware of exploding pies. Explode the slice of 3D pie chart representing the revenue from the tandem bike rentals by 20. All right, so here's our pie chart. I'm going to click on it once. I'm going to click on tandem again. And you can see we have these little dots here indicating that this is the tandem part of the pie and we want to explode it. So I'm going to double click on that, and they want the point explosion to be 25%. So I'll just click on up till it gets to be 25%. There you go. Now that 3D pie, slice of pie has been pulled out for some reason. They want us to modify the data labels of the 3D pie chart so that the data labels contain only the category name and the percentage values. So I'm just going to click on the labels here. I clicked on kids trailer, but it automatically highlighted all the others. So I'm going to click on our So I'm going to double click on that, and right click on it, and we want to format the data labels, and they just want it to be percentage. So let's convert it to, oh shoot. Sorry, I clicked on just one of these, so I'm going to click outside here. Click again. Double click. Click outside. Click here. Right click. Go to Format Data Labels. And they want it to be, they just want us to show the category name and percentage, and they want it to be outside end. And what else? They want that percentage to be, percentage, and they just want one decimal place. There you go. They want us to add a header to the all locations worksheet using the text for internal distribution to the center header region. So we need to go back to our page layout tab, and let's find, where's our, sorry, I'm not used to my Mac here, so I want to go into the page layout version and add a header. And the header they want us to be for internal distribution to the center header section. So I'm going to type in for internal distribution, and using the header and footer elements, What do they want us to do now? Display the current date in the left footer section and the sheet name in the center footer section. So just going to go scroll down to the footer, and the left section they want it to be click on header and footer, and they want this to be what? Current date. So I'm going to click on current date. Notice how it puts that and then date in brackets. That's kind of old style here. You used to have to know these codes in order to get that to pop up, but now they have these little handy dandy icons here with information in there. So the center section, they want it to be, is it the sheet name? Yeah, the sheet name. So I'm going to click on sheet name, and that happens to be and tab. And that's it. So click outside. And you can see it's got all locations in the sheet name. It's got the proper date. Oops. That won't happen here. So I click over here so it stays put. And they want us to change the margins for all locations. The left-right margins are set to 0.2. So we need to go back to page layout. Where's my margins? Oh, there we go. So you need to click outside. We're going to give it some custom margins. And they want it to be 0.2. Okay, and there you go. Okay, number 14, Amelia is very concerned about safety and is conducting a study to determine how many bike helmets were replaced at each location last year. She wants to include the survey results in this spreadsheet. Switch to the helmets per location worksheet. Well, that was the second one that we had downloaded from Cengage. I have mine hidden over here. So I'm going to pull that one up. Here we go. This is our support workbook. Make it a little bit bigger so we can see it here. And this is where I've encountered a little difference between a Mac and a PC. You'll see in a second. So it's asking us to link the data to the helmets per location worksheet as described below. So here we have, you can see we have in Santa Monica how many helmets they have, how many they replaced, and how many damaged, what the proportion of the damaged helmets are. That's just it's an actual number here. And they want us to create a formula without using a function that contains a relative. Notice how relative is in bold. Reference to cell D2 of the 2019 damage helmet survey in the support blah blah worksheet. Okay, and in the helmets per location, copy the formula. So we need to go to the helmets per location worksheet here. And here we have the, get rid of that, 11th gear bike rentals, monthly rentals, etc. And we can see we don't have the percentage of damaged helmets, but we need to add some information here. So here we have our workbook that we're working on and the helmets per location worksheet. And then here's another workbook. This is the augmented workbook that they gave to us, damage helmet survey, and they want us to pull in information from this workbook into this workbook in this particular worksheet. So that's where the cross-referencing comes in handy. So I'm going to type in, go to my home page here and type in equals, and Normally over here in the View tab, if you're working on a PC, there will say Switch to here, and we don't have that. It's just not available on a Mac. So the other way to do it is just have the other worksheet open, and I have this equal sign here. I'm just going to refer to the cell that we need to pull the information into. So I'm going to click on the cell here, and here you go. So we have the name of the worksheet, helmet survey, which is this name here. We can't see it. And then the damage helmet survey worksheet, that's this worksheet right here. So it's just a lot of information basically describing the workbook and the worksheet. And then D2 now defaulted to a absolute reference, and they're asking us to make it relative. And the reason is we're going to be copying it. So I'm going to get rid of those dollar signs. And there you go. Now it's pulled in that 13%. It's rounded down in this case, or it actually just has no decimals. And they want us to copy it into these cells here. So we're going to use our paste gallery again, probably. Without formatting. Yeah, so we're going to copy this. If I just drag it down, if I just copy this and drag it down, you'll see that it'll copy the formula, and you don't want to do, you'll copy the formatting, you don't want to do that. So we want to undo what I just did, and I'm going to click on, go back to my home tab, click copy, and I'm going to highlight the area that I want to paste it into, and just use the formulas paste function, and there you go. So I'm just going to hit my escape key here, escape. There we go. And so now we have the 13, 14, and 16%. 13.6 rounds up to 14%. Okay, so in cell E3, we want to enter a formula using the round function to calculate the number of helmets per location, because she needs to use the round function in her calculations since her customers won't accept a fraction of a helmet. The last thing customers want is a fractured helmet or a fraction helmet, whatever that is. In cell E3, enter a formula using the round function. So let's go to E3, because if we just typed B3 times D3, 412 times 13%, let's just do that to see what happens, equals B3 times D3. We get 465.452 helmets. So you can't get a 0.452 helmet. We need to have a whole number helmet. So in this case, we're going to round down using the round function. So I'm going to, in this case, as we already have it there, I'm just going to type round and then put my parentheses around here. We have to have the number of digits. So it's B3, that's the number, B3 times D3, and the number of digits here is 0, because we have to have whole numbers. We hit enter, and here we go, there's that 465. So in this case, it rounded down. So I'm going to copy this and paste it using the formulas. I'm going to hit escape, and there you go. Save my file, and hopefully when I submit it, I'll get a good score. There are a couple things that I skipped. I'll have to go back, and you'll have to go back. I think it was a couple of these formatting things up here. Yeah, this stuff here. So go ahead and fix that, and good luck. You should get a good score.